So you're excited about 12 Months by Jim Butcher coming out January 20th, 2026. That is Dresden Files book number 18. Maybe it's been a while since you have read the previous books, so I'm here to help you out. Considering the fact that this video is trying to prepare you for 12 months, this video contains so many spoilers, you guys. I'm going to be reviewing the events that occurred in Battleground, so that way you can go into 12 months feeling confident that you're not going to be totally lost. And I put together a list of characters that may or may not be important when we get to 12 months. So guys, as of right now, I'm filming this 2 days before release date. So I hope to have this out to you later today because I don't blame you. If you ran out of time to reread 17 books, yeah, you might need some summary videos. So if you need full detailed summary videos of all of the Dresden Files books, I do have those available on my channel. I'll add a link to the playlist down in the description box as well as a card up top here. You can start from the very beginning, start with everything that happens in Stormfront. I try to keep those summaries around 30 to 40 minutes, so it will save you some time because wow, it's going to require hours and hours of time to reread all 17 books before book number 18 comes out, which is again 12 months coming out in just a couple days. I hope that you guys are excited. So for me, you guys, I am spoiled. I just finished Battleground last night, so a whopping 2 days before the new release. So I timed my reads pretty good. This is extremely fresh in my mind. So yes, I accept your condolences if you've read this book. Oh my gosh, you know the emotional journey that I had to go on while reading Battleground. It was, yeah, some of it kind of sucked, but it was an excellent book and I really enjoyed it overall. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to hit subscribe. I might have some stuff on my channel that is very helpful to you. I have a lot of spoiler reviews as well as spoiler-free reviews as well as recaps of a lot of books outside of Dresden Files. But yeah, Dresden Files has been my current obsession, so that's pretty much all I talk about on the channel. But pretty soon I will be moving on to other reads because after 12 months, there's no more Dresden Files books. So I'll have to move on to something else. So just in case you've forgotten what happened in Battleground, guys, this is a book where the supernatural world goes to war with the mortal world. It all starts because Ithnu, who is the last Titan, right? She wields a horrible weapon called the Eye of Valor. Well, she pairs up with King Korb and the Fomor agents, and they go to war against the mortal world, trying to essentially wipe out and destroy Chicago. Well, what stands between that destruction is Harry and his friends. We have Harry, who's working with the Alphas. We have Karen Murphy involved briefly. We have the Knights of the Cross that are involved. We have even citizens who are rising to the occasion to fight against these supernatural monsters that are trying to destroy their homes. So by the end of this book, you guys, a lot of stuff happens that I'm going to revisit with you, but Harry was ultimately victorious, but it came at a huge price. There's been a lot of death. Tens of thousands perish in this battle. They call it Battle of the Bean because that's exactly where it takes place. In the mix, we lose Karen Murphy, which is just nothing short of devastating. We lose Hendrix, who has been Marcone's bodyguard, like his right-hand man for who knows how long. Ever since I started book 1, he's been there. Chandler ends up getting pushed into like this black hole, so we're assuming that that hole led to death. That void led to him to his ultimate demise. But we don't know. There's a possibility he could have just been sent to another reality. We don't really know, but as of right now, we're considering him dead. But also we lose Yoshimo as well as Wild Bill. So those are the 3 White Council people who have died as a result of this battle taking place in Chicago. I'm only going to touch on this briefly because it sucks, but Murphy, of all the things that she has overcome and fought, of all the supernatural beings that she has bested in her tenure, she is taken out by a mortal, and that's by Rudolph, the freaking internal affairs guy at Chicago PD, who has been a pain in the butt since book 1, I want to say. I don't know, guys, a really long freaking time. I've been waiting for this character to die, but he ends up taking out Murphy, and it's kind of like an accident. There is a war going on in Chicago with all these supernatural beings, and Rudolph accuses Harry and Murphy of being terrorists and shoots Murphy in the neck kind of on accident because his finger's on the trigger. He doesn't have any control. He pulls the trigger, shoots Murphy in the neck, and she dies. I'm sure I don't need to remind you of that. I'm sure that that tragedy has stuck in your mind and that you will probably have a difficult time moving on from that. At least I did. So Harry and his friends, they do come out victorious, but they took some heavy losses. Harry was able to bind and trap Ithnu in that crystal that got placed in the tunnels underneath Demon Reach. He used Alfred to help him with that. So Alfred, just as a reminder, is the spirit of Demon Reach Island. So she's under control, at least temporarily. She's been contained and she's been trapped and she is stored in the tunnels under Demon Reach. So that's good. And also Harry is now in possession of the Eye of Valor. So that's also good as well. Who else is trapped in the tunnels beneath Demon Reach? Yeah, that's Thomas, Harry's brother. So this whole ordeal started in peace talks, but Thomas attempted to assassinate King Eitri, who is the king of the Svartalfs, and he was not successful. He accidentally kills another Svartalf that got in the way, and so he was being held as prisoner, but Laura and Harry were able to recover him and move him to the tunnels of Demon Reach. Harry has him imprisoned because, first of all, it's going to save his life. He's also hoping to find a cure for Thomas, as in sever the demon from Thomas, so that way he is is human and no longer a white court vampire. So Harry doesn't know how he's going to do that, but that's the goal. Justine, Thomas's long-term girlfriend, the love of his life, is pregnant. Yeah, but that's not even the biggest reveal, guys. The biggest reveal is that Justine has been possessed and has been possessed for a number of years. Ever since she really got close to Laura and her inner circle, this entity has been possessing her. Who is that entity? He calls himself Nemesis, but he's actually he who walks beside, who is a walker. So that's a problem. At the end of this book, Nemesis in the body of Justine goes MIA. So Harry has to find her and help her, hopefully before he's able to restore Thomas, because that if something happens to Justine and their unborn child, there's no recovering for Thomas. He is there's no coming back from that. He is so in love with this woman. He's been in love with this woman for forever, and he has a child on the way. So anyway, another massive problem that Harry's gonna have to deal with in 12 months or just later books at some point. A big reveal in this one as well is Marcone. It seems like Ethnu actually kills him because she breaks his neck, throws him to a bed of rocks over to the side near Lake Michigan, and Harry thinks he's dead. But the dude sits up and he's fine. Why is that? Because he's in possession of a Roman coin that contains a fallen angel. And which one is that? It's Thorned Namshiel. So Marcone is fine. He is now a Knight of the Blackened Denarius, which seems about right. I don't know why that part surprised me so much, because he would do something like that. Carlos Ramirez tells Harry that he's been officially kicked out of the White Council, which is really a bummer because Harry doesn't have the protections of the White Council anymore to support him. And Carlos tells him that Ebenezer Blackstaff, aka Harry's grandfather, has been given the warrant to carry out Harry's execution if Harry were to cross a line. So Harry is walking on eggshells, so to say, because they are ready to execute this dude at the slightest wrong move from Harry. So yeah, that's another problem. But I guess the good news is that Harry now has a home again, and he took over the castle that Marcone had put over his basement lab, and so he's able to get that from Marcone in the end. So now Harry lives in the same physical location, even though it's not a boarding house anymore. He now lives in a castle, which is covered in protective runes, which is pretty sweet, and I think perfect for Harry. So I can't wait to see how he makes that place into home again, because he's been missing home ever since it was taken from him. So that was nice for Harry, except for we also have one more remaining problem. So Murphy is dead, right? Mab is demanding that after 1 year of mourning Murphy's death, that he get married to Laura Wraith, Thomas Wraith's sister, the person who's like really behind the running of the White Court of Vampires. It looks like her dad is the king of the White Court, but Laura's running the show. We've known that since, I think, Blood Rights, all the way back at book 6. So anyways, Harry's got 1 year, and then he's gonna be forced to marry Laura. How horrible is that? Guys, I don't really understand that, other than I know that the decision was made by Mab in order to strengthen the position of Winter. I don't really know, but Harry's got a year before that has to happen. So who knows? Who knows if we're going to see that wedding, or if Harry could somehow weasel his way out. We don't know. Okay, so that's what happened in Battleground. I hope that was helpful, you guys, because if it's been many years since you've read this book, maybe you've forgotten some of the minor details. If you want a full, really well-rounded, detailed summary, I'll go ahead and add a card up here at the top, and I'll add it in the description box below, because if you want more details of this book, I do have a summary video available to you on my channel, so go check that out. It might help you prepare for 12 months, or at the very least get you excited about 12 months. But now I want to move on to characters. Okay, guys, forgive me. I put together a list of all the characters that I thought were really important, really relevant, but there's going to be some that I missed, because after we get 17 books into a series, there's probably hundreds of characters, and I picked the ones that I thought were most relevant, and maybe characters that you might have forgotten, and if they show up, I want you to know who they are. So first and foremost, you don't need any reminder, but our main protagonist, his name is Harry Dresden. He is a professional wizard that operates out of Chicago. He is ex-warden of the White Council, okay? So we spent several books where he is an official warden of the White Council. Well, he's no longer anymore because he got kicked out. Guys, he is also what's called Starborn. We know very little as to what that means. What it means is that Harry was born at a very specific time where the stars had aligned, and there's a period of time where anyone born during that alignment, they actually are gifted, they're special, and they have special powers to fight against the outsiders. I don't really understand why, but Harry is a known Starborn child, and it's referred to several times throughout the book, but I think there's going to be more explanation of that as we get further on in the series, but he's something that's called Starborn. He is also Mab's Winter Knight, so he's been that for the last several books. So yeah, he has an obligation to the She Winter Court, and he pretty much has to do whatever Mab says. We'll see if he can wiggle his way out of that one, but I don't know. He's been stuck in that position for a little bit, so I think think he's probably in it for the long haul. We'll see. He's also father of Maggie and Benea. So obviously Maggie, let's talk about her. Maggie is the child that was born by Susan Rodriguez, who Harry had to kill in Changes. So I don't remember how old she is now, like maybe 8, 9, 10. She's little, she's young. And then Benea is the spirit of intellect child that was born from Lash being in Harry's head, which is super weird. We've seen very little of Benea, who they call Bonnie, but she's going to make an appearance for sure because there's more to her character than what we've seen so far. But she currently resides in the skull that Harry had originally carved for Bob, but Molly was able to extract Benea, who was originally classified as a parasite. She wasn't a parasite, but she was able to take Benea out of his head and put her in the skull. So I'm sure there's more to come on her character in the very near future. Don't forget Mouse. We have Mouse, who is Harry's ginormous gray foo dog. Very important character, very endearing, very charismatic. I love that furball. He's the best. He is currently tasked with protecting Maggie. So he hasn't been going on missions with Harry, which is kind of sad. I miss his presence in the fights, but he has a very important role. His job is to protect Maggie. So that's okay. We have Mr. He's Harry's giant cat. He's just there, honestly, you guys. I've never been a huge Mr. fan, probably because I'm not a cat fan. I like dogs. That's why I like Mouse. Anyways, Mr. Harry's big cat. Thomas, Harry's half-brother. He is also the son of Margaret Le Fay, paired with the king of the White Court, that wraith guy. I forget his name, whatever. Harry's half-brother. Thomas is a White Court vampire. He is currently locked in the tunnels underneath Demon Reach inside a crystal. He attempted to kill the king of the Svartalfs, which I think his name is Eitri. Yeah. He was not successful, but that's what he tried to do. Why did he do that? We are not totally sure, except that Justine had a huge role in it. When I say Justine, I mean Nemesis, who is inside of Justine. He who walks beside. So there is going to be more to come about that. We don't know exactly why he was driven to attempt that assassination, only that he was forced to for the sake of Justine and their unborn child. Oh, this one's going to hurt. Karen Murphy, ex-Chicago PD. She used to lead special investigations. She was Harry's biggest advocate. She would hire him for jobs on cases that just didn't make sense, where there was something supernatural going on that couldn't be explained by normal circumstance. She was Harry's girlfriend, and she is no more. She was murdered by freaking Rudolph. But she was awesome. She was a mighty fighter. They called her the Jotun Slayer because she killed a giant. That was the last thing that she did before she got killed by a bullet in the neck by freaking Rudolph. I don't know if this character is going to appear anytime in the near future, but Elaine, that's Harry's ex-girlfriend. She used to also study under Justin. She is now operating as a professional wizard somewhere in California. I think it's LA. I think she's in that area where Carlos is. Anyways, Elaine, she pops up every now and then. She pops up every few books, so she's coming back. We just don't know when. Maybe 12 months, maybe not. Justin DeMorn, he is Harry and Elaine's old mentor. He was dabbling in black magic. He sent the Walker after Harry to kill Harry, but we still don't have the full details or the full story behind that. Who knows? Harry even suspects that maybe it wasn't Justin who sent the Walker after him. Maybe it was the Walker who was influencing Justin the entire time. Anyways, there's a lot of knowledge gaps. For me, maybe a reread would clear some of that up, but yeah, he's the old mentor. He is deceased. Harry took care of that. He sent Justin's place up in flames, and as far as I know, he is like dead, like gone, not to be coming back, will not be returning, at least I hope. Laura Wraith, she is the true power behind the White Court of Vampires. From outsiders looking in, it appears to be the king of the White Court Vampires, which is her father, Lord Wraith, but it's actually Laura controlling everything and controlling her father like a puppet. She has 1 year before she's going to be forced to wed Harry, so we'll see what happens there. She is also Thomas's sister. We got Bob, the spirit of intellect, the horn dog who really enjoys his romance novels. I'm such a Bob fan. He currently resides in a skull, and yeah, he's a fun character. He has his moments. He's really funny. He's an enjoyable character. I expect him to be around. He helps assist Harry when he's creating some magical artifacts, whether that was like Little Chicago that he had for a while, or Bob helps him brew potions. He gives him information because Bob has worked with wizards for centuries. He is a wealth of knowledge, and he's very, very helpful and kind of funny and kind of silly and an overall horn dog, honestly. I don't even want to talk about him, but Rudolph, he's the one that kills Murphy. He is internal affairs in Chicago PD. He's had a long-term beef with Harry and Murphy. because he's an idiot. Now he should fear for his freaking life because his end is coming. Please, Jim Butcher, please, please end this guy and end it gruesomely for the love of God, please. He needs to die a horrible death and then I'll be happy and satisfied as a reader. Okay, thanks, JB. Thomas Wraith, that's Harry's half-brother, also son of Margaret Le Fay, also grandson of Ebenezer McCoy, who is Blackstaff for the White Council. And Ebenezer just found that out. Like, shoot, it's in peace talks. Ebenezer just discovers that. He was not happy about the news. He does not like the White Court vampires at all. Anyways, Thomas is a White Court vampire, but Harry's going to do the best he can to sever that demon from Thomas and hopefully help him be normal, like a normal human being. That would be pretty sweet. Ebenezer McCoy, that is Harry's granddad as well as Thomas's granddad. Again, he's the White Council assassin, like the designated assassin. He's the only one who can really kind of like cross the line of the laws of magic when they are inconvenient to the council. Susan Rodriguez, that is Maggie's mother, the one that Harry had to kill in Changes in order to eradicate the Red Court of Vampires. Heartbreaking? Yeah. Necessary? Yeah. Yes, Harry's ex-girlfriend, mother of Maggie. Let's talk about the She Court. We have Winter Court and Summer Court. So if we're talking about the Winter Court, we have Mother Winter. Then we have Winter Queen Mab, Queen of Air and Darkness. And then right under her, we have Molly Carpenter, who is the Winter Lady. On the opposite side, we have Summer. Lady there, her name is Sarissa. She is actually Maeve's twin sister. Maeve is deceased. We don't even need to talk about her. She got killed off a couple books ago. The Summer Queen is Titania, and then above her, we have Mother Summer as well. Since I already mentioned her, let's talk about Maggie Carpenter, the current Winter Lady. She was Harry's apprentice for a while, and she has been big time in love with Harry since the very beginning. And poor Molly, Harry does not and has not returned her affections. He's considered it. He's like, now that she's of age, the problem with Harry is that he's known Molly since she was in a training bra. So he's known her since she was a kid, and he will always see her as a kid. And that's partly because Michael Carpenter, Molly's father, is a best friend of Harry's, and he just can't do that to Michael. And so there might be an attraction there. There might be something there, but I don't know. We'll see if it ever comes to be. Personally, I don't want that romance. I don't know. It doesn't seem right to me, but it could happen. I don't know. Only Jim Butcher knows. I'm going to mention a couple characters here just because I'm going to mention them. I don't know when they're going to appear, but they might. We have the dragon, Pharaohvax. We've seen very little of this character so far, but he pops up now and then. We also have Ivy, who Harry has named Ivy. She's actually the archive. She's like the living document of everything that was ever written about histories. Like, she's a wealth of knowledge. And she pops up now and then as well. She's getting older. When Harry first meets her, she's a little girl. Now she's in her teens. And yeah, so she's maturing, she's developing. And she was a badass in Battleground. We have Kincaid, who is Ivy's bodyguard, who we did not see in Battleground. So where the heck was that guy? I don't know. I don't think it was ever explained, but he wasn't there. So he is the assassin who Harry hired to kill Harry, as in to kill himself. Another important detail is when Harry made that decision to kill himself. So he just accepts the Winter Mantle from Mab, right? And he thinks there's no stopping me from becoming a monster. And I don't want to be that. I would rather die than become a monster. So he hires Kincaid to kill him, to assassinate him. And Kincaid does. He shoots Harry, but Harry pulls through. It was a whole thing. Go check out Ghost Story. Go check out Cold Days. You'll see how well that assassination attempt turned out. One last important thing about Kincaid is that is Murphy's ex. Kincaid and Murphy definitely had a thing. That kind of went off and on for a while. So yeah, anyway, not important, but it happened. We have Vaterung, who goes by a lot of different names, including One Eye, Odin, Beowulf, and Kringle. Yeah, like freaking Santa Claus. All the same dude, right? He is the CEO of Monarch Securities, and I like the guy. He's an outer lord, I think. Someone please correct me if I'm wrong. He has so many titles and so many names, I just couldn't possibly keep track, but I like the guy. He seems to be on Harry's side pretty much all the time. Let's talk about the Knights of the Blackened Denarius, because they tend to pop up every 5th book. We see them in book 5, we see them in book 10, we saw them in book 15, so I'm guessing, Jim Butcher, book 20, we're gonna see these folks again. I don't know, they're really annoying villains. They're great villains, but they do pop up every 5 books. So let's be prepared for them, right? First and foremost, we have Nicodemus, who holds the coin of Anduriel. God, that guy needs to die, like hopefully in book 20. Come on, please, Jim Butcher. We have Nicodemus's wife, Tessa, Lartessa. They have a daughter named Deirdre, who is deceased because Nicodemus stabbed and killed her at the Gate of Blood in Skin Game. So yeah, I guess she's not even worth mentioning. She's not coming back. She's dead. But yeah, that was Nick and Tessa's daughter that Nick killed. Nice, right? Ooh, Lashiel. We have a history with Lashiel. Harry was in possession of Lashiel's coin. He even had a copy of Lash in his head for quite some time, hence the creation of Bonea. Now, guys, we don't know who is currently in possession of Lashiel, because previously in Skin Game, it was Hannah Asher, and she had Lashiel, but Harry killed Hannah, but who knows what happened to the coin. I'm assuming Nicodemus has it and probably passed on to somebody else. So Lashiel's floating around out there, just waiting for someone to take up the coin if it hasn't been done so already. We have Mavra of the Black Court of Vampires. She keeps coming up. They keep trying to kill her and they keep failing. So she's going to be back. I just don't know when, I don't know where, but she's coming back. We have Demon Reach Island that Harry has bonded with. Now, the spirit of that island, Harry has been calling Alfred. We have over 6,000 nefarious beings trapped under that island in the tunnels in these little crystals. So Harry is the warden of this island and is now kind of responsible for all of those prisoners, including Thomas and Ethnu. Oh, we gotta talk about Toot Toot. We've known Toot Toot since book 1. The development of Harry's relationship with Toot has grown so much since book 1. It's been so fun to watch. But Toot, let me get his title right. Major General of the Lord's Guard. He is a Fae, he's a little pixie, and oh my gosh, he's awesome, you guys. He is in love with Lacuna, who is another fairy. So far, it's not a mutual love that they share, but I think it might develop into something later on. We have 2 Knights of the Cross. Number 1, we have Sonia. Number 2, we have Waldo Butters. I gotta talk about Waldo Butters because he's awesome. He is a courageous little dude, just small, shock of black curly hair, glasses. He is in possession of Fiddleacius, and he's great, you guys. He is actually a mortician. He's the newest Knight of the Cross. So he works pretty closely with Sonia, who is the agnostic Knight of the Cross. I'm sorry, forgive me, guys. Is it agnostic or is he atheist? I can't remember. Either way, it's kind of funny. I've always really liked Sonia. He has a really good attitude about life, and yeah, they have their god swords. So Sonia has Esperacius, and Butters has Fiddleacius, and guess who is in possession of Amaracius? That's Harry, because when Michael retired, it didn't get passed on right away, so Harry has it for safekeeping on Demon Reach Island. Since we mentioned Waldo Butters, let's talk about the werewolves, because Waldo Butters is dating a werewolf. Well, okay, so yes, he's dating Andy, who is a werewolf, who has also kind of brought in Marcy, who is another werewolf. Andy and Marcy kind of got it on back in the day, and it sounds like Andy has invited Marcy into bed with her and Butters. So yeah. Anyways, not even really worth mentioning, but it was kind of funny. So yeah, Waldo's in bed with the werewolves. We have Will, or who used to be known as Billy. He is now officially married to Georgia, 2 werewolves, and they now have a child together. We haven't seen this child, we just know that they have a child together. We have Gentleman Johnny Marcone. He is the crime lord that runs Chicago. Now he is a Knight of the Black and Denarius, and he is in possession of Thorned Namshiel's coin. So yeah, Marcone, I like the guy. I'm sorry. I know he's technically a villain, but him and Harry have been forced to work together so often, and they get on together well. I think they're very effective as a team. I'm sorry, I like the guy. Even though he's a crime lord, he's a very good one. Lastly, guys, we have Mac from Mac and Alley's. He is the cook, the bartender. We are led to believe that he's just a simple human, right? For books, many books. And then it's revealed that he is something more. We don't know what Mac is, but he is familiar with outsiders. He's very familiar with what's going on in the supernatural world. And that, yes, that's part of being on neutral ground because it's protected by the Accords, his establishment, Mac and Alley's. But he is something that's not human. We don't know what it is. Harry attempts to look at Mac with his wizard sight, and Mac stops him and he's like, no, you'll hurt yourself. So Mac is a big mystery. So I don't know any more than that, but Jim Butcher, he's got to indulge us at some point in time. So if that's 12 months, that would be fantastic. Here's a couple extras for you because they are mentioned enough to that I think it's important, but what is the Paranet? The Paranet was founded by Elaine and Harry, and that was when they worked together many books ago. Elaine was hired to protect a woman of the Ordo Lebus. Her name was Anna, if I'm not mistaken. That member of the Ordo Lebus is actually deceased because Elaine was not successful in protecting her. So as a wereguild, she didn't have any family for this wereguild to go to. So Harry and Elaine worked together to create what's called the Paranet. It's a community of, wizards, but of people with small levels of magical ability. Not enough to protect themselves or do anything with it really, but like they possess magical ability. Well, they all get together as a community and they assist in other efforts that are going on around the world. They're helping to fight the supernatural. They're offering aid in other ways, whether that's research or just spreading communication, whatever it may be, but it's a great community. There's a member, his name is Gary. He's the paranoid guy, but like he's rightfully paranoid. He picks up on all these things that are happening and he spreads the information for the powerful wizards to actually deal with. So that's what the Paranet is. We have the Fomor. These are villains, but the Fomor, they're a crew of bad guys. They have been snagging all of the people that possess a little bit of magical ability and altering them. And when they alter them, they call them servitors. So what they're doing is they're enhancing these people. They're giving them extra muscles, gills, night vision, etc. They're giving them all these extra capabilities by enhancing them. And if you hear the term Jotun, it's giants. I didn't know that. That is why they call Murphy the Jotun Slayer. All right, guys, I think those are all the notes that I have to help you prepare for 12 months coming out in a couple days. I really hope this video was helpful. If you read this recently, you may already be privy to all this information, but if it's been a while, I hope that this video was helpful. You have to let me know in the comments, was there anything major that I missed? Hopefully I didn't misspeak on anything because all the events of these books are pretty fresh in my mind. I started Stormfront 6 months ago and I just got caught up with the 17th book. So I think that my memory is doing pretty well, but that doesn't mean I don't make mistakes. So you have to let me know in the comments how I did. If you are a Dresden Files fan, you've got to talk to me about Dresden Files. Now that I'm officially caught up, we can talk about the events and the characters pretty freely. So please leave me a comment. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to hit subscribe. I would love to connect with you other readers who also love Dresden Files, or I would simply love to connect with you on other books because it's fun talking about books. So please don't forget to hit subscribe. Leave me a comment. I would love to chat with you further. Once again, if you're in need of summary videos, I have all those on my channel. For every book that I read, I just make notes as I go along and I create a summary video because I go into books knowing that I'm likely going to only be able to experience these books once. I don't have time to reread every book that I love, but I would love to revisit events later on, maybe years down the road. So I do create summary videos for all the books that I read. So there might be something on my channel that may be helpful to you. I do spoiler reviews, I do spoiler-free reviews. So I hope that you stick around. I hope to catch you in another video. I hope this particular video was helpful and I hope that you're excited to read 12 months. I can't wait to read it with you. So I think that's all I have for now. I hope you're reading something great. Thank you for watching. And until next time, I will catch you on the flip side.